Something subtle shifted in the environment this week, and it is not loud enough to trigger panic, but it is strong enough to expose the vulnerability points inside of every business. This is your stabilizing signal, the weekly briefing that helps you to interpret the environment ever before it starts to make decisions for you. The problem this week is not volatility, it is misalignment. Across global events, cyber posture, cultural undercurrents, one pattern is emerging. The environment is tightening much faster than founders themselves are aligning. And when misalignment weakens, three things actually happens. One, identities begin to drift. Number two, operations start to scatter. Then number three, decisions begin to slow down. Nothing is breaking really, but the business starts to create a gap between what we think is stable and what actually is. And that is the gap that instability starts to exploit. So I want us to look at the operational architecture for this week's instability. And I have broken it down into 5 instability layers to make it easier for you to work this week. The first layer is the identity alignment. Your identity as a founder is usually the first stability layer. So this week, cultural as well as social undercurrents have interfered and intensified. And when the environment begins to fracture, identity must become sharper, not softer. The vulnerability point that this creates, if there's a misalignment, is that if your identity signal is unclear, the market will start to rewrite that identity for you. Layer number 2 is directional alignment. Global stability remains uncertain, so there's a lot of geopolitical tension, energy volatility, as well as multipolar power dynamics. And this is creating continuity pressure. So if your direction is not explicit, the environment is going to put you into what is called reactive motion. If there is any form of misalignment in this direction, the vulnerability point is that unclear direction will start to become operational drag. Layer number 3 is operational alignment. CIFA-linked guidance has shifted this week from incident readiness to conflict readiness. AI-enabled attacks, unrelated third-party connections, as well as OT exposure are now all rising. This is no longer a technical update. It has become a warning about operational architecture. Now, if in any way your operational alignment is in any form misaligned, the vulnerability points that it is going to create is that systems that are not aligned with modern threat models will become single points of failure. Layer number 4 is what is referred to as decision alignment. When your decisions, your identity, as well as your operations start to drift even slightly, your decisions will begin to slow down. So this week, a lot of founders have found themselves feeling that simple decisions are taking much longer, their priorities are blurring, and most importantly, execution is slowing without any clear course. The truth is that this is a decision compression, a bottleneck that is created because of misalignment. Now, the vulnerability point that this has created is that slow decisions start to create fast instability. Now, let's look at the 5th layer, which is layer number 5, is continuity intelligence. Continuity is not always about surviving events. No, it's not. Sometimes, and a lot of times, it is about maintaining direction through them. So this week has revealed that few founders have true continuity intelligence. That is the ability to be able to interpret environmental pressure and adjust without slowing down momentum. So the vulnerability point that this has created is that if continuity begins to depend on calm conditions, it is no longer continuity. So this is how you are going to stabilize your alignments across those 5 layers. The first thing you need to do is that you need to re-anchor your identity. You need to define the role that you are playing this week. Be very definite about what exactly you are doing. Don't look at it for last quarter. Don't look at it for last year. What are you playing within the next 7 days? Because your identity must match the responsibility that you have to run. What I need you to do in this regard is that you're going to write your 3-line identity code: who you are, what you are protecting, and what you need to advance. Now, the second thing that you need to do is to clarify your direction. What that means is that you need to reduce your optionality. You need to choose your direction as well as eliminate the noise. So the move I need you to make is that you need to set just one directional priority for the next 7 days. Just one. You don't need two. Number 3, you need to reinforce operational architecture. Now, what this means is that you need to audit your system so that you can discover your vulnerability points. In essence, look at your third-party dependencies, look at your AI-enabled exposures, your unmonitored access, as well as your unowned processes. What you need to do in this regard, the move I need you to make, is that you are going to fix those operational bottlenecks ever before it turns into a crisis or a breach. Now, number 4, I need you to accelerate your decision layers. What this means is that you need to shorten the decisions between awareness as well as action. So any decision that is older than 72 hours should be resolved or removed. That is the move that will keep you moving within the next 7 days. Now, number 5, I need you to build continuity intelligence. What this means is that you need to interpret your environment weekly. Don't wait for consequences before you do that. You need to adjust a weekly stability review. Your weekly stability review, if you have not created one, it is essential that this is the time to start one. Look at what tightened, look at what drifted, and look at what needs to be reinforced. Alignment is not a luxury. It is the foundation of stability. Because when identity, direction, operations, decision, as well as continuity are aligned, you are going to become unshakable, unmovable. But when they drift, instability will not only enter quietly, you are going to start entering into a place of crisis. This week is not asking you to grow, it's asking you to align what already works, because aligned systems scale, misaligned systems collapse. So if you want this level of clarity every week, I'm going to encourage you, subscribe to the Stabilizing Signal newsletter, stay ahead of instability, build with continuity, and continue to lead with alignment.